That seems good.
Hello? Hello?
Okay.
Is Mike at a good spot?
Hello?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So are you comfortable? Are you good? Do you need to do anything else? No. All set? Good job. Wow, nerves of steel.
So what we'll do is we'll leave this on.
Okay.
So then she just has to come up and she'll be good.
Perfect. That's great. So are you all set? You're comfortable? You probably sing with the microphone.
Yes.
A lot?
Yes.
Yep. Awesome. Good.
I'll get one more of you in front of the mic with the flag there if you want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right there. Awesome.
Okay.
1, 2. Awesome.
Our singer today? I'm Jim Watson. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And what school do you go to?
St. Mark's.
St. Mark's. That's a great school. They do a lot of charity work at St. Mark's,
Yes.
don't they? Big canned food drive.
Yeah, they just started that.
And what grade are you at?
7.
Grade 7. Great. Well, here's your counselor here. Can we get a picture here? Here, we'll move this by the flags, I think. Come in. Over here. And George might even get this in the community newspaper. There's a lot of club. I know. Good luck today. You do a great job. We have a great counselor here.
Are you guys here?
Yeah, we checked tonight, so it's all good. They put it up nice.
So don't get nervous, and when I introduce you, and then when I finish, you can just rip it up. Take your time, and breathe. You need water or something?
I already.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Professional.
I can see.
That's what I said. I can't believe how calm she is.
I know. I'm more nervous than her.
I don't even do karaoke. There's no.
I was just like, I'm looking. I'm like, I'm more nervous than her, and she's looking.
You'll do great.
So is this your dream to one day sing professionally? Yeah. Good for you. Not be part of a girl band?
Maybe.
Oh, girl bands are okay? Better than boy bands? Yes. All right, maybe it could be the next Taylor Swift. I'll say, hey, I knew Savannah. So what are you missing this morning at school?
History and language we're doing completely.
Oh, so what's your favorite then?
Art.
Art? Yeah. Yeah.
Which we're doing music right now.
Ah, well, you're kind of doing like music here too. Yeah. How about math and science?
Science and math.
The other one liked it too. Anyway, it's not my So you haven't been to the council before? So yeah, and sometimes depending on the topic, we've been here before. All the seats are very full. Yeah, but today we're not talking about any particular seats. Pretty soon we'll have the mayor call the meeting to order. All good? Yeah. Do you recognize any of the faces here? Just your
I've met them here before, but I don't recognize.
When did you meet them?
It was a few years ago. It was like my aunt's craft fair or something.
And he just was stopping by and said hi thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We'll start the meeting in just a moment. If members of council could take their seats, on va commencer la réunion dans une minute. Merci. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs, and welcome to the October 28th, 2015 Council meeting, City of Ottawa. For those who are able to, could you please rise for a moment of reflection? Thank you. If you could remain standing as Councillor George DeRuz introduces our very special guest who will sing our national anthem. Councillor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's my pleasure to welcome a 12-year-old resident of Osgoode Ward to our City Council. We are very fortunate to have this talent singer perform O Canada this morning. Savannah Elder has been singing ever since she first learned how to speak. She has never received any formal training, but that hasn't stopped her from participating in many talent shows at school and in her community, including Greeley Idol. This St. Mark student also loves to dance and play piano. At school, Savannah is very involved in the Glee Club, the Social Injustice, and the DE Club, which involve working with developmentally challenged kids. Somehow, with this busy schedule, Savannah also finds the time to sing with both her church and school choirs. We are expecting great things from this young lady. I encourage everyone here this morning to remember the name Savannah Elder, as she will definitely be a big star someday. Thank you.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command. Quand embrasser porter les pays, il sait porter la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants espoirs. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Savannah, that was amazing. Thank you very, very much, and real pleasure to have you here at City Hall. At this time, I'd invite Aldej Belfay to the podium for this meeting's City Builder Award and ask Mr. Belfay's Ward Councillor Bob Manette, as well as Councillors Steve Blay and Jody Minnick, who both worked with Mr. Belfay in the community, to join us as well. Welcome.
Thank you.
Councillors. Aldej has been volunteering with the Orleans Bengals for many years, and in that time he's committed an estimated 1,000 hours to the organization, its teams, and its athletes. Durant ce temps, il a
In that time, he has committed an estimated 1,000 hours to the organization, its teams, and athletes.
Bengals Club was established in 1973 and is providing recreational opportunities to youth aged 7 to 19 since its creation. While the club has achieved many championships and accolades over the years, thanks to Aldej's leadership, the Bengals have strived for excellence off the field as well. In 2012, the club's Be a Bengal, Not a Bully program won the prestigious Royal Ottawa Inspiration Award in the community category. This program would not have been possible without Aldej's leadership and dedication to securing sustainable funding. Be a Bengal, Not a Bully is a youth-led initiative that brings the anti-bullying message to the community on and off the field. The program, Be a Bengal, Not a Bully,
Be a Bengal, Not a Bully is a youth-led initiative that brings the anti-bullying message to the community on and off the field.
pioneered the Streets for Cleats program, which secures the appropriate equipment for athletes when they're unable to do so themselves, primarily for economic reasons. Always having the players as the priority. Once an athlete in need is identified, often a mystery donation for fees or a spare set of cleats happens to show up in the player's size. Les joueurs constituent toujours une priorité.
Always having the players as the priority. Once an athlete is in need is identified, often a mystery donation for fees or a spare set of cleats happens to show up in the player's size.
There's many contributions to the club. Its athletes and families involved always come with no strings attached, and he accepts no recognition. He always ensures the athletes have every tool at their disposal to pursue their dreams, regardless of the personal impact. Il s'assure toujours que
He always ensures that the athletes have every tool at their disposal to pursue their dreams, regardless of the personal impact.
Commitment to the many athletes who have and will continue to pass through the Bengals Club in Orleans. It's my pleasure to present you with the Mayor's City Builder Award, and thank you for a job well done, Aldesh. Well done. Come on over here, guys. We'll get a good shot. Sure. It's always on.
To say I'm humbled by this award is akin to say that the Titanic was hit by an ice cube. But like Mayor Watson told me a few years ago, a community is like a ship, everybody ought to be prepared to take the helm. The awards my passion led me here today. When I began this journey, I knew I could affect real and positive change for youth, especially less affluent youth and at risk. As a child raised on Hetherington Road in Herringate, most kids weren't blessed to have both parents and are working parents, so I wanted to pay it forward. In this light, I would like to personally thank Mayor Watson, who is fast becoming the greatest mayor in our city's history. For someone who moved to Orleans in 2002, I can tell you it's never been better than it is right now. As such, I'd like to thank the 3 recent city councils who helped me accomplish so much for so many. Councilor Minnick is wasting no time in helping to support the community like I've never seen before. Councilor Minette readily makes himself a booster to any good cause and has always been there for our club. But to be honest, Councilor Bay deserves more credit than I do. I'd also like to proudly thank local business partners such as Tamarack, Mattamy, more specifically, Michelle Taggart, Darwin Anderson. They are the light, the unseen light to many darkness kids that we are affecting positive change to. To the people who should be up here more than I, Tammy Kopp, no bigger advocate in helping youth can be found. And Coach Warren seems to care more about outside the white lines as he does inside the white lines. And last but definitely not least, the people who matter most to me, who sacrifice the most, and who unconditionally support me, for better, for worse, more or worse, I'll bet, Stephen Bear, the Tim.
Roll call, please, Madam Deputy Clerk.
Conseiller Minette.
Present.
Councillor Middick.
Here.
Councillor Harder.
Here.
Councillor Wilkinson.
Present.
Councillor Ashantiri.
Present.
Councillor Caudry.
Present.
Councillor Taylor.
See.
Councillor Shirelli.
Here.
Councillor Egli.
Here.
Councillor Deans.
Here.
Councillor Tierney.
Present.
Monsieur Cléry.
See.
Councillor Nussbaum.
Here.
Councillor McKinney.
Present.
Councillor Leeper.
Here.
Councillor Brockington.
Here.
Councillor Chernyshenko.
Present.
Monsieur Cloutier.
Present.
Conseiller Blais.
Present.
Share my microphone.
Councillor Derouz.
Here.
Councillor Moffat.
Here.
Councillor Kakish.
Here.
Councillor Hubley.
Here.
Mayor Watson.
Ici.
Le quorum est 10, Monsieur le Maire.
Merci.
You have quorum.
Confirmation of minutes from the meeting of October 14th, 2015. Carried. Declaration of interest, including those originally rising from prior meetings. Déclaration de conflit d'intérêt. Communications, none received. Regrets, no regrets filed. Motion to introduce reports. Motion portant présentation de rapport. Conseil Egley et McKenney, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That Ottawa Board of Health reports 4 on Foyer and Camera, Community and Protective Services Committee Report 8, Planning Committee Report 15B, and Transit Commission Report 6 be received and considered. That the rules of procedure be suspended to receive and consider the Planning Committee Report 16, Item 8 of the agenda, subsection 29.3 of the Procedure Bylaw 2014-441. Due to timelines, as this is the last scheduled council meeting prior to the Ontario Municipal Board hearing for 1445 to 1451 Wellington Street, which will reconvene in early November, and pursuant to subsection 35.2 and 35.5 of the Procedure Bylaw 2014-441, council is being asked to consider the zoning and plan of subdivision 6279 Fernbank Road, item contained in Planning Committee Report 16, item 9 of the agenda.
On the motion, carried. Adopté, merci. Reports, Ottawa Board of Health, report number 4, rapport numéro 4 du Conseil de santé d'Ottawa, 2015 operating Q2 budget for the Board of Health. Carried. Thank you, Councillor Cadre. Secondly, Ottawa Board of Health report 4A in camera. This is the appointment of an Associate Medical Officer of Health. Is there any reason to go in camera? No. On the motion as presented by the Board of Health? Carried. Thank you. Committee reports. Rapport de comité, Community and Protective Services Committee report number 8. Rapport numéro 8 du Comité des services communautaires et de protection. Item 3, Accessibility Advisory Committee 2015-2018 Work Plan. Comité consultatif sur l'accessibilité, plan de travail 2015 à 2018. Carried. Item 4, Arts, Culture, Heritage, and Recreation Advisory Committee 2015-2016 Work Plan. Carried. Dissent by Councillor Brockington. Item number 5, City of Ottawa Older Adult Plan. I know Councillor Deans would like to offer a congratulatory note.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As Chair of the Community and Protective Services Committee and Co-Chair of the Seniors Roundtable, I think I'd be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity to thank the City staff as well as the many volunteers, members of the Roundtable, for all of their hard work on the 2015 to 2018 Older Adult Plan. With seniors outnumbering youth in numbers for the first time ever in Canada, I think it's very important that we maintain a focus on supporting and addressing the needs of our older adults. With this new plan, we'll continue to uphold the vision and long-term goals adopted as part of the City's focus on seniors, as well as commit to 51 new actions. I look forward to Council's support on this document and to continuing to work on this very important issue. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Great. Thank you. On the report, carried. Merci. Item number 6, Ottawa Fire Services, provision of dispatch services to other municipalities, service d'incendie d'Ottawa, prestation de services de répatriation des équipes d'urgence à d'autres municipalités. Carried. Item number 7, City of Ottawa renewed public art policy, la politique nouvelle de la ville sur l'art public. Carried. Clarification, Councillor.
I just have a question around the response. So the letter that was provided following the committee, could you clarify the source of funds? It needs to be on a tax base, on a DC. I just would like for some clarification again on that, Mr. Sheney.
Mr. Mayor, in terms of sources of funding for capital projects, what we have identified through development of the policy is that DC funding and rate funding for capital projects cannot be pooled and spent elsewhere in terms of the notion of pooling to develop projects other than at the site. We can still pool within an area, and I think the example that was provided based on your example at CPSC of an area pooling of various streets, let's say, for reconstruction. In most cases, generally ISD does put those projects together into one tender, and in that case, it would be eligible for public art, but it would be in that location.
Thank you. I just want to highlight the importance of the 30 years of that policy and reflect too that the pooling opportunity will be really well received for communities in terms of the ability to improve a park or an area as we see some of these projects happening. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Carried. Planning Committee Report number 16, Comité de l'Urbanisme Rapport 16, Official Plan Amendment and Zoning Bylaw Amendment, Ontario Municipal Board Settlement 1445 and 1451 Wellington Street. Carried. Dissent by Councillors Leeper, McKenney, Nussbaum, and Chernyshenko. Thank you. Item number 9, Zoning and Planning of Subdivision, 6279 Fernbank Road, Zonage et Plan de Lotissement 6279 Chemin Fernbank. Carried. Dissent by Councillor Kadri. Thank you. Bulk consent agenda. Does anyone wish to remove anything from the bulk consent agenda? On the bulk consent agenda as presented. Carried. Motion to adopt reports. Motion portant adoption de rapport. Councillor Eglai, please. Seconded by Councillor McKenney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That the Ottawa Board of Health reports 4A and 4A in camera, Community Protective Services Committee Report 8, Planning Committee Reports 15, B, and 16, and Transit Commission Report be received and adopted as amended.
On the motion, carried. Motions of which notice have been previously given. Motion dont avis a été donné entièrement. Councillor McKenney, seconded by myself. Councillor McKenney, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am absolutely honored today to have the opportunity to present this motion with the strong support of yourself, Mr. Mayor, in recognition of MAD Ottawa's 25th anniversary. We are all aware that thousands of Canadians have been injured or killed as a result of impaired driving. Today also Greg Thompson is with us from MAD Ottawa. Greg, thank you. Greg lost his son Stan in an accident due to impaired driving in 1999, along with 4 other youth who had just graduated from high school in Canada. Since then, he has been an outspoken and strong advocate, mostly speaking to students about the effects of impaired driving, sharing his story and the experiences of many others. So thank you. Thank you for being here today, Greg. So today we do have the opportunity to establish a local memorial where victim families and friends can come together to reflect and remember their loved ones by the fountain on the Laurier side of City Hall. Did you want me to read the full motion or just the therefore, yeah. So therefore be it resolved that MAD Ottawa be granted permission to install a small memorial marker at the site of the fountain at City Hall, and that the Public Works Department continue to maintain the fountain as part of its existing maintenance program for Ottawa City Hall.
I want to join Councillor McKenney in thanking Greg Thompson very much. Greg has, in many ways, become the face of MAD Canada's Ottawa chapter, and I know I've seen him at a number of community events, and obviously he was touched by a tragic occurrence with the loss of his son. And I think probably, sadly, almost everyone in the country has had some impact or been touched in some way or another, known someone who's been killed or injured. I was hit by a drunk driver at the corner of my car was at Booth and Gladstone, and it was obviously a traumatic experience because the police officer said if it was an extra second or so, the impact would have been directly on my door as opposed to the passenger's door on the other side.
And so this is a small gesture for family members who have lost a loved one to come and grieve and to reflect and to pray. And I thank Councillor McKinney very much for bringing this initiative forward. And I thank Greg, all of your Ottawa chapter members, for the tremendous work that you do in advocating on behalf of those who have lost a loved one, and reminding everyone, students and everyone else, the terrible consequences of what happens when you get behind the wheel of a car intoxicated. So we very much appreciate this, and I'm sure all of Council will be fully supportive of this, and we look forward to seeing the plaque and the marker sometime, I assume, in the near future. So our thanks are to you and to MAD Canada. On the motion, carried. Thank you. The next motion is by Councillor El-Shantiri. I'm sorry, Councillor Tierney's motion, seconded by Councillor Moffat, with respect to proliferation of e-book devices. Councillor Tierney, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I think I did circulate to members of council some examples of why this motion is important. I'll save you the long read of it and give you the nutshell version. Is we want to make sure that through you, Mr. Mayor, we send a letter to the Department of Canadian Heritage and Industry Canada asking the federal government to include the examination of publishers' restrictive practices in making e-books and e-magazines available to public libraries, including the higher prices charged to public libraries and the upcoming statutory review of the Copyright Act. I will also add that as the Ontario Chair for FCM, I have spoken with FCM. They do see this as a national issue. There's more and more pressure to become more within our libraries, but the costs make it very prohibitive. So I'm looking for your support today, Council.
Great. Thank you very much, Councillor, and also in your capacity as Chair of the Library Board, you're seeing firsthand the consequences of the rising costs. So on the motion, carried. Adopté. Merci. Motions requiring suspension of the rules of procedure. The first is by Councillor El-Shantiri, seconded by myself. This is a request from the City Treasurer on waiving the rules of procedure. Carried. Councillor El-Shantiri, if you could introduce.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And as you indicated, this motion presented by on behalf of staff, on behalf of the Treasurer, and without going through all the whereases, Mr. Mayor, if I can get everyone's attention to where the city's investment management consultant on the endowment fund, AON Hewitt, recommends that the prudent investor standard approach as more appropriate approach to investing. Therefore, be it resolved, the City Council approved that the Mayor send a letter to the Minister of Finance and Minister of Municipal Affairs asking that the Municipal Act 2001 on the Ontario Regulation 438-97 amended to the Ontario Regulation 399-02 be amended as follows. Specific the City of Ottawa Endowment Fund Ontario Regulation 399-02 are the addition of wording under the clause 4.1 that will specifically allow the City of Ottawa Endowment Fund to invest in a way that will move to the prudent investor standard and away from the prescriptive investment highlighted in the Municipal Act. Specific of the City to the City of Ottawa internally managed funds Ontario Regulation 399-02, the addition of the new clause that will specifically allow the City of Ottawa to invest internally managed funds in a way that will move the prudent investor standard and away from the prescribed investment highlighted in the Municipal Act. So, Mr. Mayor, just so you can write to Minister to allow us the movement with the fund.
Right, thank you. Councillor Leeper.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A quick question with respect to the prudent investor standard. What new classes of investment would that allow the city to invest in compared to the prescribed classes that are in place now? And is there actually a desire on the part of the Treasurer's Office to move into some of those classes?
excuse me, right now the Municipal Act restricts our investments for the endowment fund to Canadian equities and Canadian bonds. So we are not allowed to invest in outside of Canada. Whereas we already manage 2 pension funds, and we are allowed to invest those funds in the U.S., in Europe, in Asia, in basically whatever you determine through an analysis of your investment objectives and your risk tolerance where you should go. So what we're looking for is to have basically the same type of ability for both the endowment fund and then our own the funds that we invest on a daily basis, not the pension plans, but basically the $1.6 billion we invest on a daily basis, to have the ability to determine, in fact, if we need to invest in something for a longer term or for something that's outside of Canada, we would have that ability. But primarily this change is not so much in what we invest in, but it is about how we make the determination, the thinking that goes in before you make that investment. And we are already have moved to that, which is an examination of, like I said, your objectives with respect to your investments, what you're trying to achieve, your risk tolerance. And we go through all of that process, and then we run up against what's prescribed in the Municipal Act, which is after we've done all that analysis, we can only basically buy Canada and Ontario bonds, AAA banks, and other municipalities. That's all we can invest in.
How much is our endowment fund currently earning?
The endowment fund right now is, we've earned 6.5% on that since its inception, which was 2005, I believe. So it's a good, healthy earner for us, but it takes work, and we need, right now, with the economy being stalled in Canada and our limitation only being in Canadian equities and Canadian bonds, the return is not as healthy as it has been in the past, which is why we'd like the ability to do other things with it.
So with this additional flexibility, you'd anticipate earning a better rate of return then?
A better rate of return, and also what we're seeing, and I know the councillors who sit on the COSF pension board know this, is what we're seeing is that even though the returns may be lower with your investments in, for example, in the United States, the fact that the Canadian dollar has dropped so much, in fact, increases your returns, because once you convert those American dollars into Canadian dollars, it offsets the fact that the actual return on that investment is down. So it's one of the ways that you insulate yourself from the shifts in the market, the ups and downs in the equity markets.
If this move were made to the prudent investor standard with the greater flexibility, does that require new mechanisms internally in terms of what we will and won't invest in, or is it delegated to staff to make prudent choices?
One of the things that's happened as a result of our notification from the province that we had to have this approved by Council before October 31st is we actually have an investment policy in front of FEDCO next week. And that talks about the changes that we're recommending with respect to how we make those determinations, how we monitor, how we report, all with the objective of us moving to the prudent investor standard.
So a very transparent investment strategy. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, good questions, Councillor. Thank you. On the motion, carried. And update. Any other? We do have one other. I'm sorry. Motion by Councillor Middick, seconded by Councillor Chernyshenko. This is on the Ottawa Fury and Red Blacks. That the rules of procedure be waived. Carried. Councillor Middick, if you'd like to introduce the motion.
Thank you, Mayor. As we know, well, first of all, as Sports Commissioner, this is an exciting one because we have a couple of young teams in town, and they're both doing outstanding work and making Ottawa proud. I'd like to recognize, though, Bernie Ash and Randy Burgess of the Ottawa Sports Entertainment Group, because it's their leadership, really, that I think is showing the dynamics of these two teams. But I'll get on with it because it's a little long. I got to read it all. So whereas the Ottawa Fury FC have been Ottawa's professional soccer club since 2014, and in just their second season, the Fury have earned a playoff berth by winning the North American Soccer League's fall season the first in franchise history, will host the semifinal playoff game at TD Place on November 8th, 2015. And whereas the Ottawa Red Blacks, Ottawa's Canadian Football League team, has also earned a postseason playoff berth with a strong performance in the CFL's East Division, and whereas the Glebe Business Improvement Area and the Ottawa Sports Entertainment Group have confirmed that they are supportive of identifying Bank Street as Fury Way, Voie de Fury, from Bank Street Bridge to the 417 Queensway with temporary bilingual commemorative signs at each intersection, and whereas the Glebe BIA and OSEG have confirmed that they are supportive of identifying Exhibition Way at Lansdowne as Our Nation Lane, Allée Our Nation, with a temporary bilingual commemorative sign located at the corner of Bank Street and Exhibition Way, and whereas the OSEG will be consulted on the design of these signs and have agreed to pay for their production. So, therefore, be it resolved that the City Council approve the placement of temporary bilingual commemorative street signs at each intersection formally identifying Bank Street from Bank Street Bridge to the 417 Queensway as Fury Way, Voie de Fury, and the placement of temporary bilingual commemorative street signs at the corner of Bank Street and Exhibition Way, formally identifying Exhibition Way as Our Nation Lane, Allée Our Nation, for the duration of each team in the playoff as described in this motion.
Good idea. Councillor Chernyshenko, please.
At risk of turning this item into the longest one on today's agenda, I just wanted to say it's a pleasure to be able to support this. We've got two teams that in just their second year are not only making the playoffs but doing extremely well, are apparently being very well managed, and are fitting in quite nicely in the neighborhood. Yes, you heard that. There's support for this naming, and I will throw in my little plug here. One of the reasons they fit in so well is that the transportation system, people coming to the games, people have followed the best advice, which is to come by bus, on foot, by bicycle, or to carpool if you have to drive. And we hope they'll keep doing that during the playoffs, because that's key both to the success of these events, but also working well with the community around them. And that's why there's little, if any, opposition to today's motion. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. On the motion? Carried. Adopté. Merci. Are there any other motions requiring suspension of the rules of procedure? Notice of motion for consideration at subsequent meeting. Councillor Tierney, second by Councillor Hubley, please.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is just a notice of motion in regards to the National Zero Waste Council in regards to the reduction of food waste. And I'll give a more wholesome discussion at the next council meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other notices of motion? Motion to introduce bylaws, please. Councillor Eglai and McKenney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The bylaws list on the agenda under motion to introduce bylaws, 3 readings, be read and passed.
Carried. Confirmation bylaw, règlement de ratification. Councillor Eglai and McKenney, please.
That the following bylaw be read and passed to confirm the proceedings of council meeting of 28th of October 2015.
Carried. Councillor Brockington, on a point of order with respect to the motion that Councillor Tierney brought up on e-books, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I just wanted to thank Councillor Tierney for championing this cause. I forgot to mention when we were debating this, if I could just offer a suggestion. There strength in numbers, and I would just like to offer that the Canadian School Boards Association may be in a similar predicament, and if the FCM is going to discuss this, we may have some friends in the same boat. I'll just put that on the floor. Thank you.
Councillor Tierney.
Thank you, Councillor Brockington. I'll definitely take that under consideration and pass that along.
Thank you. Written inquiries, we have one from Councillor Tierney, please.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Montreal, Barrie, Edmonton are a few municipalities that make use of the Open North Citizen Budget Survey online tool. Citizen Budget allows for people to participate in a survey and actually simulate balancing budgets, kind of what we do. Can we get staff to look into the possibility of using a tool similar to this or as part of our next, the 2017 budget cycle? I'll tell you just from personal experience playing with the tool, and I showed the mayor, we kind of kicked the tires on it. I think there's a good opportunity to get more feedback from our residents, and this might be the tool to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Adjournment. Councillor Eglai, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That the proceedings of the City Council meeting 20th October 2015 be adjourned.
Carried? Carried. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Meeting adjourned.
It's a hell of a day.